we thought me and him were gonna be 1 and 2 the whole time. Whether he's 1, I'm 2. Whether I'm 1, he's 2. And so that's just always been, our mindset. It didn't go that way. But I mean, just coming out of college, even to the draft, I thought he was one of the better quarterbacks. And then he's always been, just a great person to be around. A lot of stuff out there on him ain't really, the truth. Just because they spin it different ways, like they spin stuff about me different ways. But I mean, I've always thought he was a productive quarterback.
Everybody seems to have something against Shedeur Sanders after his one bad performance. But even with the competition Cam Ward had with Shedeur in college and everywhere else, he came out publicly to talk about Shedeur Sanders supporting him. Cam Ward, in an interview, declared that Shedeur Sanders has been a great QB and deserved a top spot, either number 1 or 2 in the draft. He also mentioned that the narrative spun against him caused him to fall. But in reality, he is one of the best quarterbacks this draft had. He even went on to say that Shedeur Sanders was never a bad person, but rather a great one when it comes to his behavior. Unfortunately, people created a narrative that made him fall.
But I mean, when he gets his chance, to become a starter, I know he's gonna make the most of it, and I'm ready to get back to work with him. After the season, talk some more stuff to him, say some crazy stuff. I mean, we just gonna keep on pushing each other.
Cam Ward also shared that even though Shedeur hasn't had the chance to start just yet, whenever that opportunity comes, he's confident that Shedeur will make the most of it. He mentioned that their competition isn't just about numbers. By the end of the season, they'll both look back on the wild moments they've experienced. He's excited for the time when they can sit down and have a conversation about all the crazy things that went down. Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders share a close friendship, and we've seen them joking around while training together during the off-season before the draft. Cam Ward is considered a generational talent, while Shedeur is already seen as legendary, and they would often laugh together when Cam joked that once he made it to the NFL, he'd prove he was the true generational talent by beating Shedeur. Their playful banter highlights the bond they share as they push each other to be their best and reach new heights.
They say I'm a generational talent. I'm a prove 'em right.
Nah, you generational, I'm legendary.
That's cool. You can be legendary. Legendary get their generational is once every 100 years.
Shedeur had always been tired of the constant comparisons between him and Cam, especially since they're close friends. Cam would often joke around, claiming he was the chosen one, to which Shedeur would playfully mock him, asking, if you're the chosen one, then why haven't you been crucified yet? Their back and forth shows just how comfortable they are with each other, keeping the mood light while still pushing each other in their journeys. Even though Cam joked around, he also addressed the serious side, saying the media has been creating a narrative against Shedeur, much like they did with him. He emphasized that once Shedeur is given the opportunity to start, he will surely bounce back, proving all the doubters wrong. Cam believes that Shedeur has the talent to silence the critics and show everyone what he's truly capable of. He's confident that Shedeur will put an end to all the comparisons and prove that he deserves his place in the spotlight once and for all when the time comes.
Then he's always been, just a great person to be around. A lot of stuff out there on him ain't really, the truth. Just because they spin it different ways, like they spin stuff about me different ways. But I mean, I've always thought he was a productive quarterback.
When Cam was asked about a potential rivalry with Shedeur Sanders, he quickly shut it down, saying there's no rivalry at all. He made it clear that Shedeur is his boy, and no matter what happens during the process, their friendship remains strong. Cam stressed that, in the end, they'll still be friends, and after everything settles, they'll look back and share all the crazy experiences they've had together. He highlighted that their bond goes beyond any competition, showing just how much respect and support they have for each other, regardless of what the media might suggest.
To have like this rivalry with Shedeur and have it play out the way it has?
I don't have a rivalry with him. That's my boy. So
Cam Ward went on to say that coming out of college, Shedeur has always been one of the top quarterbacks. He praised Shadur for being incredibly productive throughout his college career, whether he was playing at Jackson State or Colorado. Cam emphasized that every time Shadur stepped onto the field, he was impressed with his performance. He had nothing but admiration for Shedur's abilities, recognizing him as one of the best quarterbacks to come out of college in recent years, acknowledging his consistent excellence and the impact he made at both schools. And you know what? Cam was absolutely right, because the same people who are now criticizing Shadur were the ones earlier declaring him ahead of the competition. It's a clear example of how quickly opinions can change. Cam's point about the media is spot on as well. They often spin narratives against athletes like Shadur and himself, twisting their stories to fit a certain agenda. Instead of focusing on their talents and hard work, the media can sometimes turn the narrative into something negative, clouding the true picture of their abilities and character. Colin Cowherd is a prime example of how the media can quickly shift its narrative. When Shadur was excelling in training, Cowherd was all over him, praising his every move. He went as far as to highlight the significant gap between Shadur and the other quarterbacks in Cleveland, emphasizing how Shadur consistently displayed sharpness, confidence, and control, while his competition looked sluggish and uninspired. Cowherd made it clear that this wasn't just a small difference, it was a defining one that would ultimately influence the Browns' quarterback decision. He confidently stated that, given how things were unfolding, there's no doubt Shadur Sanders will be the starter for Cleveland.
So how he is viewed by the NFL and the professionals there, who I respect and trust, and how he's viewed by everybody else, it's an incredible...
In the end, Cam Ward's perspective on Shadur Sanders holds far more significance than any opinion spun by the media. Cam has seen Shadur's talent firsthand, and his praise for his friend carries much more weight than the often shifting narratives driven by reporters and commentators. The bond between the two is built on respect, friendship, and shared experiences, making Cam's words a true reflection of Shadur's character and ability. It's clear that Cam believes Shadur is not just a top-tier quarterback, but someone who will prove his doubters wrong when given the opportunity. Shadur has always had the ability to rise above criticism and prove his worth, and the media's ever-changing narrative won't stop him from reaching his full potential. From his time at Jackson State to his transition at Colorado, Shadur has demonstrated resilience, focus, and determination to become one of the best in the game. The media might try to label him or manipulate the story, but Shadur has shown time and time again that he lets his performance speak louder than words. His growth and success will be the ultimate response to the negative narratives surrounding him. At some point, the narrative will shift, and Shadur will have his moment to showcase his greatness. When that time comes, it won't be about the opinions of talking heads or critics. It will be about his undeniable skill and hard work. Shadur will silence the critics just as he has before and show the world exactly why he's one of the most talented quarterbacks in the game. The future is bright for Shadur Sanders, and as Cam Ward knows, he's destined for greatness when given the chance. So, what do you think? Do you believe the media's narrative is unfairly shaping opinions about Shadur Sanders? Can you see him rising above the criticism and proving everyone wrong when given the chance to start? Do you think Cam Ward's support and inside knowledge about Shadur's character and talent hold more weight than what the media is saying? How do you feel about Shadur's journey so far, and where do you think he'll go from here? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about it.